Welcome back, everyone. After that unseemly display and very infeasible display of acrobatics, it's time for Mission 6, Family Ties. And for today, we'll be going the Swordmaster route in celebration of capturing Agni and Rudra. Yes, Agni and Rudra the fire and wind swords. I keep thinking they're fire and ice, but no, the description blatantly tells them... oh wait, it is fire and ice. Or is it... I don't even fucking know, we're not going to get into that, but they're fucking cool, that's all I have to say about them. And we've saved up a few points, so let's go ahead and buy Whirlwind. It's one of the more useful weapons of the game, so let's it's only 75,000, so 7,500, sorry. Oh. Regardless of this, we'll just be cancelled out, and there'll be a short episode today, nothing too special. We need to clear through a series of trials to forge a new path. And as you can see from this object here, there are 3 indents in the statue. The goddess's piercing stare is staring right at the rubble. And we need to somehow activate that weapon to clear the path and mosey on our way to the future. Item statue if you need anything. Passing 1 trial still shows lacking. Passing 2 trials expands horizons. Passing all trials unlocks one's true potential. Your wisdom will be put to the test in the chamber ahead. Use your lifetime experience. From the crawling infant to the man standing tall to finally the old man standing on his cane. Leaning on his cane, sorry. And I don't really need to explain this. If you've heard, this riddle is possibly one of the most commonly heard of any out of life. I'm pretty sure most people have heard this puzzle. And as you can see, there is 2 lights, 3 lights and 4 lights. And obviously the crawling infant is on all 4s, so we'll go through the 4 door. The standing man proud on his feet is the 2 door. And the old man standing on his cane is finally through the 3 door. And should you be wondering what happens if you go through the wrong door, you get unhurled into a pit of monsters and invariably slashed up. But for now, we have the essence of intelligence. I didn't know intelligence could be a solid object, but I'm not going to complain. Will you get a PhD if you swallow it? I don't know, Dante. Maybe you should try it. And also, don't go through any of the other doors. Go through the 1 door, or you will be thrown into a pit of monsters. Your techniques will be put to the test in the chamber ahead. Overcome the onslaught of obstacles to guarantee your future. This is starting to sound like a bad martial arts movie, doesn't it? Bruce Lee in the Chamber of Technique. I'd actually watch that, to be honest. Oh no, a massive hurl of fucking arrows coming in through the wall and roof. Whatever will we do? Move slowly out of the way. I don't really see what technique has to do with any of this, to be honest. Except that I get a little stupid because the camera goes off screen. I couldn't tell that I was landing on the arrows. So be careful when using air hike. Air hike responsibly. Because I double jump in the air all the time. The essence of technique, another good thing to swallow. Seriously, Dante, you should swallow some of these pills. Make a return of the blood goils, but nothing too impressive. We'll dispatch of them shortly. You're still not spitting cakes at me, Gluttony. Maybe if you start spitting cakes at me, I may pay attention to you. Actually, I'm a little slow here because I'm trying to practice weapon cancelling with an entirely new weapon. And sometimes you need a little practice before you do it, even with any new combination that you have, because it requires a different amount of timing for each one. Not always, but I mean, Rebellion and a weapon later on in the game are the fastest and considered the most advanced for weapon cancelling and any forms of buffering and whatnot, and I'll tell you more about those techniques in a future video. Beautiful.
Come and get me.
No, Dante, no. And so, with 2 orbs, we can actually just continue on through the storyline if we wish, but that's not interesting. We need all 3, motherfucker, to see what unwieldy prize that it gives us. And the final room. Your warrior's heart will be put to the test in the chamber ahead. Light all the crests to suppress the evil spirit's rage. This sounds like a movie I once watched, but I can't actually remember. I think it had this black guy, and he had to drink water to quell the flame inside, to stop the flame so he could get to the other side, but I don't remember. If you can name that movie, I'd really love to hear it, because I don't remember what the fuck it was called. So as you can see, as those lights have turned off, you can actually find that the monsters have become supercharged. We are surrounded by a magic barrier of great evil. I'm not sure what these platforms do to keep their wills at bay, but we might as well turn them on so that we can have an easier time dealing with them. Because trust me, they are a bit fucking hard to deal with. They have like quadruple the HP that they had previously, and they have learned to block. Yes, you want to be done with them as fast as possible. But as soon as you actually activate both of the platforms, they lose their ability to block and all their health. No, not all their health. They lose their maximum HP. You still have to inflict a fair amount of damage. And they might recover their HP if you leave them alone. I'm not entirely sure, but sometimes it took longer than others. I actually have a little trouble in this room because I'm not used to using the Swordmaster style. I'm just so used to be able to blocking things on a dime, and without, you know, going on an all-out offensive after you've been able to block for a while is a little weird. The main worry that you have to do is once you get to the lust stage of this trial, you have to be careful because obviously you have no focus on them, and therefore they can come out of nowhere and slash you up on your back while you're not watching. And so you just need to be ever so cautious and maybe jump randomly every so often so you can ensure that they aren't getting all up on Dante's wig-filled ass. Jump! There we go. Yes, I have a problem with lusts in the next few videos because they seem to have become variably harder. Why? I haven't got a fucking clue. And especially sloths you want to deal with because with their quadrupled HP, they actually have a lot of it. It will take a fair... Come on, Pole. Why did you stop my shockwave? Come on, bro. That's just not cool, man. That's just not cool. But as you can see, as their barriers come back on, it becomes considerably harder. I'll just keep on slashing, and they are unaffected by Dante's mighty blows with his faithful sword Rebellion. Actually, this would be a good time to talk about Rebellion, actually. Rebellion was the keepsake from its father, Sparda, the night that... oh shit, you might have seen that. Anyway, back on Rebellion, sorry, I'll explain that later. Rebellion was a sword left to Dante from his father, and the sword that Virgil has is Yamato, or Yamamoto. I'm not entirely sure what his sword is called. They were both keepsakes of their father, Sparda, the great legendary Dark Knight Sparda, I should say. And they hold great story significance as it's the only real... essence of fighting, another good thing to swallow. Regardless of this, the Yamato and the Rebellion swords are very crucial to the storyline of Devil May Cry 3. Not that the storyline holds any sort of significance in the form of art, but they, just so you know, they are very relevant in all forms and factors. And Dante's sword, actually, if you've been paying close attention, his sword looks a little different than it does in the other games. And in Devil May Cry's 1, 2 and 4, I believe Rebellion looks just a slight bit different. And you'll find out why later. Damn. Hadouken! And the third one, what does that do? I wonder. Put it in for me, Dante. And so we've unlocked our third weapon, the third gun. And we'll be getting into that a little bit later. We don't really need to be equipping it now because we're near the end of the level already. Yes, it was that easy and that quick. And we'll be using that weapon later on when we get the gunslinger style on, and that will prove actually fairly useful. It's really impressive once you upgrade gunslinger a few more times. Excuse me while I slash up the statue for no good reason because I hate fire. Actually, it's a lie. I love fire. I remember a tree I once set on fire when I was 13 with a can of deodorant and a lighter. I had to ninja kick the branch down so I didn't set the whole forest on fire. That was a pretty badass moment for me, actually. Except that it was dumbass that I burned the tree in the first place. Anyway, up here are some orbs, not really worth getting. But I'm going to try and get a few anyway, just for the sake of it. But as you can see, it's impossible to get up there. It's really hard to get up there, actually. The game engine just isn't built for it. And time for a cutscene.
Well, well. You've grown stronger.
Go to hell.
You point a gun at me? Your own kin? Your dear papa?
The only family I ever had was my mother. And she's dead!
You break my heart! After all, it was I who gave you your name. My darling daughter!
Well, you can write her off. Fantastic. Actually, no, you can't. She'll be coming back later somehow. B. A. C. C. S. B. Backs. That's actually a bank transfer system.
Well, this is my kind of rain. No wonder the sky looks so funny today.
Let me go!
Let you go? But it would be a waste if you ended up as just a pretty stain. What the hell was that for? Here I am trying to help you, and you show your thanks by shooting me? Whatever. Do as you please.
So he's a demon too.
I'm beginning to think I've got rotten luck with women.